Suppose you have an interior firm, and suppose a potential female customer messages you, a small interior design firm, on Instagram. Let us call her Meera. She has two-bedroom apartment, a young child, a fixed budget, and 8 weeks before her parents move in. Marketing sent her a consultation form. It records her name, phone number, and the budget, but not why the deadline matters or why safety is so important to her. During the sales call, Mira explains that a previous contractor disappeared halfway through the project. The salesperson reassures her and promises a weekly progress call. But the same salesperson's final note says only interested in full home package, follow up Friday. After she signs up, the delivery team receives the floor plan, budget, and completion date. It does not receive the reason behind the deadline, the safety priority, or the promise of weekly updates. And 3 weeks later, the founder has to repair an avoidable misunderstanding. Now imagine your company already uses AI, marketing uses for its posts, sales uses it as a meeting assistant, and ops uses it for its task list. Every part becomes faster, but Mira's story is still getting lost in between somewhere. That is where many small businesses AI plans go wrong. They automate individual tasks before repairing the customer journey. Namaskar, I am Dev and welcome to my channel Talent Copilot. In this video, we will follow Meera from her first message to the completed project, and at every step, I'll show you what information should move forward, where AI can help, and what must remain a human responsibility. Because for many small businesses, one of the biggest AI opportunities is not producing more content or automating every department. It is preventing useful customer knowledge from disappearing between marketing, sales, and operations. And the loop is simple. Customer signal, better marketing, better sales conversations, better delivery, new customer insight, and then back to better marketing. This may sound like a problem between the departments, but the real problem here is continuity. We need to understand a small business may not have separate departments for each and every function. The founder may handle marketing in the morning, sales in the afternoon, and delivery the next day. That handoffs still exist. Context can be lost between two employees, two tools, or two different days of same person's work. And to keep Mira's customer journey intact, the business does not need one giant AI platform. It needs one shared customer record carrying five things forward. First, the customer's need. Second, the important constraint. Third, the promise made. Fourth, the next action and owner. And fifth, the final outcome or learning. For Mira, the need is a safe, functional home. The constraints are a fixed budget and an 8-week deadline. The promises include a clear scope and weekly update, and the next action may be a site visit owned by the design consultant. The outcome will be added after delivery. See, this record can live in a CRM project tool or a well designed spreadsheet. What matters here is that each stage works from the same approved facts. AI can turn scattered messages, forms, and call notes into a structured draft. A human must verify the facts, approve commitments, and decide what the next team genuinely needs. So, one system does not mean one tool, it means one customer journey, one source of truth, and controlled workflows connecting the stages. Let us map the journey here before we try to automate it. Mira's journey has 6 stages: Instagram message, consultation form, sales call, proposal, delivery, and post project feedback. Now, inspect what disappears between them. Marketing knew that her parents were moving in, but the form did not preserve it. Sales learned why regular communication mattered, but the note reduced the conversation to one sentence. Sales promised weekly updates, but the operation never received that promise. And after delivery, the team may learn what made Mira trust the company, but that insight may never return to marketing. That is the broken loop we are talking about. Before buying another AI tool, look for the movement where the customer repeats herself, a promise becomes vague, somebody rebuilds information, or a problem is discovered too late. Now, not every broken handoff needs AI. In this case, the firm needs better questions and the business needs a standard handover template. AI becomes useful when the information is messy and spread across messages, calls, documents, and notes. It can summarize, compare, and prepare the next person in his decision making. So repair the process first and then use AI where it removes repeated interpretation or coordination work. Most small businesses begin by asking AI for 30 social media ideas. The interior design firm could do that too. But generic posts would not explain why customers like Mira hesitate or what makes them ready to buy. A better use of AI is to analyze approved and anonymized signals from inquiry forms, sales summaries, reviews, lost deal notes, and post project feedback. Suppose the firm reviews recent conversation. AI groups the repeated themes. Does the customer worry about missed deadlines? Families with young children or older parents ask about safety. Many have had poor experiences with contractors, and regular updates matter almost as much as the final design. A human checks that these patterns are real and then the businesses act on them. The website explains how schedules are managed. The consultation forms ask why is the deadline important and who will use the space. A video explains how the company handles delays and change requests. Now imagine Mira entering through this improved customer journey. Before the sales call even begins, the business already understands the reason behind her deadline and the outcome that matters. Marketing has done more than attract attention, it has prepared a better sales conversation. And before Mira joins the sales call, AI can prepare a one page lead brief from the approved information already collected. It might say known facts, two-bedroom apartment, fixed budget range, 8-week deadline, young children, parents moving in, and safety as a stated priority. Still unknown exact scope, site readiness, decision processes, and which part of the deadlines are flexible. Suggested questions: what must be completed before the parents arrive? Which safety concerns are non negotiable? Who approves the scope or budget changes? The brief does not label Mira as difficult or invent its own preferences. It separates known facts from unanswered questions, and that allows the salesperson to spend less time making her repeat herself and more time understanding trade offs, expectations, and trust. And after the call, AI can draft a structured summary containing the desired outcome, agreed scope, constraints, commitment, open questions, and the next action. The salesperson reviews it before it becomes part of the shared record. If weekly updates were promised, that commitment must be recorded. If the 8-week deadline is only a target, the summary must not turn into a guarantee. AI can do the heavy lifting here, prepare the conversation, and organize evidence. Pricing, negotiation, empathy, and commercial promises remain human responsibilities. The purpose of sales automation is not to remove the relationship, it is to return the salesperson's attention to the relationship. And now, when Mira approves the proposal, operation often receives the invoice proposal, the floor plan, but not what the customer believes will happen. AI can turn the approved proposal, reviewed sales summary, and the confirmed customer record into a draft delivery brief. For Mira's project, it could include the outcome, complete the agreed rooms before her parents move in, the constraints, fixed budget, 8 weeks target, and confirmed safety requirements, the commitments, weekly Friday updates, and approval before any material scope change, the scope and exclusion, the main risks, approvals, owners, and next actions. From this approved brief, AI can draft tasks, checklist, meeting agendas, and weekly status updates. It can also compare the supplier lead times with the deadline. Now, suppose a selected safety fitting has a 6-week lead time and creates schedule risk. AI can flag the conflict very early But it should not choose a substitute, change the design, or promise Mira new dates on its own. A person must review the options, speak with the customer, and make the consequential decision. The delivery brief should contain only the context needed to serve Mira, not every private detail from her sales conversation. Automate preparation, coordination, and repetition. Keep human responsible for exceptions, commitment, and consequences. And when the project is completed, the learning should not remain inside one project manager's memory. The team records four things: what outcome did Mira receive? What caused the confusion or delay? Which part of the experience mattered most? And what should change next time? Suppose Mira says that the weekly updates gave her confidence and that safety planning mattered more than any single design feature. She also says that the electrical approval process should have been explained earlier. AI can compare this with feedback from other projects, and across several projects, the business may notice that these families with children or older parents repeatedly value safety, deadline confidence, low disruption, and regular communication. And now the loop closes. Marketing creates clearer content. The firm capture these needs earlier. Sales ask better questions. Operation adds electrical approvals and communication checkpoints to its standard plan. Every completed project can now improve the next customer journey. The journey shows where information should move. It does not mean you should automate every stage at once. For this firm, the best first workflow may be sales to operations delivery brief. Let us define it using five parts. The job should be within 15 minutes of an approved cell. Prepare one page delivery brief for the project team. Inputs: the final proposal, human reviewed sales summary, confirmed CRM finds, and approved customer documents. The boundaries: use only confirmed facts, mark missing or conflicting information, do not add scope, change a deadline, or create a promise. Exclude private details the team does not need, require human approval. And the output: the outcome, scope, exclusions, constraints, commitments, risks, approvals, owners, and next action. And above all, the proof. Does the preparation becomes faster? Do clarification calls, missed promises, and avoidable rework decline? Mira's previous contractor experience shows why the boundary matters. The AI should not copy her full story into the brief. It should translate only the relevant part into an operational requirement, like customer requires one named owner and a scheduled weekly progress update. That is what we call useful context without unnecessary private details. Now, everything what I have explained can be done and can be tested in 30 days. In week 1, the firm maps recent customer journeys and measures the current handover. How long does project preparation take? Which important constraints or promises are commonly missing? In week 2, it fixes the processes first. The form captures the reason behind the deadline, the sales summary gets required fields, and the delivery brief gets a standard owner and approval step. Then the firm configures its AI using job, inputs, boundary, output, and proof. In week 3, it runs the workflow manually on a small number of real projects. Every brief is reviewed before operation sees it. Suppose AI includes a kitchen upgrade mentioned in the early email, even though the final proposal removed it. Suppose if AI includes a kitchen upgrade mentioned in an early email, even though the final proposal removed it. The team updates the rule. The final approved proposal controls scope. Earlier notes provide context, and conflicts must be flagged rather than resolved by AI. And that is why you test the workflow, not just the demo. In week 4, compare the new process in three ways. First, the speed. Is the team ready sooner? Second, the quality. Are fewer details, promises, and exceptions missed? Third, the business result. Is the rework failing? Is delivery mode more predictable? And does the customer experience improve? If the brief saves time but Mira still repeats the reason behind the deadline, it has not resolved the real problem. If handover becomes faster but unapproved promises enter the project plan, it is dangerous. And we should not measure success by the number of brief summaries or automations produced. 50 AI generated briefs mean nothing if the customers still feel that nobody is listening. The workflow succeeds only when the handoff becomes faster, more accurate, and more reliable without weakening the judgment or trust. The objective here is not maximum automation. It is profitable growth with a better customer experience and a team that can spend more time on judgment, creativity, and relationships. And remember, one reliable workflow is much more valuable than 10 impressive demos. Now think again about Mira. In a disconnected business, she becomes a name and budget in marketing, a short sales note, and a project number in operation. In a business which is connected across through AI, marketing understands the signal, sales understands the customer, and operation understands the promise, and delivery improves the next customer journey. That is the real opportunity, not more tools, but better continuity. This week, take one recent customer journey, find where the customer repeated themselves, a promise became unclear, or useful learning got disappeared. Choose one handoff, fix the process, and then use AI to carry the right context forward. Where does the context get lost in your business? Before the sale, during the sales, or during the delivery? Tell me in the comments below and subscribe to channel Copilot for more practical, no hype conversations about AI and the future of work. First, make the workflow clear and then make it intelligent. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.